vivo, G4 presenta El Gicador contra El Nerdo Loco, The Internacional Fenómeno. Ataca the show!
Today. I don't have it. Just dance for me. Hey, everybody! Welcome to Attacking the Show, TV's only source for all the stuff you care about. My name is Kevin Perez. Good to see you guys.
And Allison Hayslip. We are coming to you live from the G4 Studios in Los Angeles. Olivia is standing trial for burning down the Ninja Warrior course.
Spoiler.
Well,
We're supposed to mention that, but
it's going to be in the papers eventually.
eventually.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, on the show today, we're going to teach you how to hunker size.
Yeah.
See, Playgirl's workout tapes hit the web, and it's something for the ladies. It's a mustache parade, and it's around the net. And then Adam Setzler will take a break from playing games. Come here to talk about it. It's a rough
Imagine
life.
that.
Very rough life. Today's topic is Resident Evil 5. He's going to back up the whole meh review on the most highly anticipated and controversial game of the year.
What? And later in Hack This, we'll show you how to stream one of the largest media collections available to your Apple TV with a simple trick. It's boxy and it's yours for free if you can hack this. Plus, in the loop, if you've noticed your internet connection seems slow, your ISP provider may be to blame. Senior writer for Wired Magazine, Daniel Roth, will join us to talk internet throttling. We'll tell you what it means and what you can do about it. But it's time now to run down the top 5 things on the web.
We are going around the net.
They don't jingle. They're just little ties.
Okay, sorry.
They're just little ties. Today's
In
video.
my world, they made noise. Sorry.
In your head.
Yeah.
This video we're about to show you is no small feat.
No, this is a skateboarder who manages to plant his face without any help, not even help, from his trusty skateboard.
A skateboarding accident at all. It was kind of more of just like a walking accident.
A walking accident,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, his teeth didn't know the difference.
Yeah,
That's the important part.
The skateboard just showed up at
Yeah.
the end for like good measure.
That was the lamest lay parkour audition video I've ever seen. Like, no, you're not making it to
Yeah.
Ninja Warrior, dude. Sorry.
Probably sucks at Mirror's Edge.
Yeah.
All right, today's number 4 is a helpful little song for folks that have trouble with stairs. Made by the geniuses at Los Alamos National Laboratory.
Yeah, those eggheads are responsible for some of the nation's most secretive research, and now the most obvious instructional video that has ever been produced.
Up and down and up, stairs and handrails. Walk each step. Don't skip a one. Uneven stairs will trick you. Keep them in view. And with a load, make sure you see. Keep one hand free. Stairs and handrails.
Stairs and handrails. Breathe in, breathe out.
Yeah.
That's how you stay alive.
It's almost as benign as that, yes.
All right, so if you like that, our government also funded such educational ditties as "Skunks Aren't Food."
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was really good. I like that. There was like an 80s rap song, Wiping Front to Back.
Oh yeah. We're wiping front
Wiping.
to back.
It's all sound advice from our greatest minds.
Front
It's really
to
good.
back.
I would totally go to that concert though. Like, you know.
You totally would.
I would mosh it.
And you Twitter the whole time you were there.
I'm at Stairs and Handrails with
OMG.
what's your username? Whatever. You know, Olivia is currently in Japan, and we can only hope that she hasn't been forced to watch anime like this while she's there, because this is rough.
Yeah, today's number 3 item is an odd Japanese animated clip, as if there were any other kind.
Yeah, that's a little redundant.
Made by Shintaro Kago.
Yeah! No! 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 Get your clams away! Camel kick.
Whoa.
Yeah, right? You weren't expecting the camel
Where'd that
kick.
come from?
Yeah. Yeah. Improv. That's not not the only Shintaro Kago clip we found, no, because the next one is about golf.
Oh, I love golf. It's a very relaxing sport.
You mean that you used to love golf?
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
Toilets seem weirdly sinister and anthropomorphic, but now,
no.
of course,
See, in Japan, the 19th hole is you.
Yeah.
So understand that.
Interesting. Yeah. All right, today's number 2 item comes to us from those cultural archivists at Everything is Terrible.
I love those archivists.
Yeah.
They dug up an old copy of Playgirl's supposedly. What is what? What did I do now?
Nothing.
Okay. This is a erotic video, Playgirl Morning Workout, which features some mustachioed gentlemen doing aerobics in dangerously short shorts, actually.
Yeah, it sounds like the only thing missing is some thumping house music from the early aughts.
Oh, how about Romeo by Basement Jaxx? Will that do?
I like it. Yeah, let's let the guys decide.
I'm Jim Bolden, your personal exercise trainer. Together, we're going to give your body all the love and attention it deserves.
You keep on giving me the whole. You know what we should make our mind up. You used to be my Romeo.
This is probably the best thing you've done for yourself today. Thank you.
Listen, ladies, I'm probably the hottest guy you're ever going to see, and this is the best thing you've done ever. You're welcome.
For yourself.
Yeah. Like, do women really like this stuff? Did they like this stuff? Do they?
Absolutely, because you can work out in safety knowing full well that those guys are never going to check you out at the gym.
I could feel like guy molesting me with his eyes, and he was on video. Like,
yeah. I think the better question actually is, how is this a workout move?
Do you have grow the mustache? Mustache changes everything.
You only actually burn calories if you have a mustache.
You got to get it into it, but that's cool. Still ahead, we're going to show you one of the worst auditions you'll ever see.
Yeah, America's Next Top Model wannabes ruin everything. Up next.
Need some beehives.
We're doing a pause.
How many damn shuttle launches are there in a year or in a lifetime? There's very few. So if you have a chance to say something, don't say full power for full science. Yeah. It makes no damn sense.
It's
the hell was it? Say go go rocket or woo.
Or like we're 3 sheets to the wind.
Yeah. Or winner winner chicken dinner.
Yeah.
But someone needs to punch somebody at NASA in the mouth. Is all I'm saying.
Full power for full.
Number one, right? Number one. Full power for full science, you. Today, and trampling the rest of the competition at number 1, it's the Great Model Stampede of 2009.
Yeah. At a recent audition for the new season of America's Next Top Model in New York City, a smoking car apparently set off a riot in the waiting line, with hopeful contestants shouting sensible things like fire and not so sensible things like bomb and someone's got a gun.
That's what you yell.
Yeah.
That's the old saying. Where there's smoke, there's someone with a gun.
Someone, smoking gun.
Yeah, exactly. And the footage from the riot was all over the internet this weekend. It also found its way onto television. So here's a report from New York's WCBS that does its best to lend a serious tone to the whole fiasco.
What a mess here in Midtown Manhattan. The street littered with headshots and high heels as an audition for a reality show goes horribly wrong here on 55th Street. Mayhem as the aspiring top models, thousands of them were online. They saw thick smoke. Look closely at the left side of the screen. This cell phone video shows you the source, an overheating car.
People were screaming guns. Somebody screamed bomb. So everybody panicked. We got trampled over. You know how many girls lost their purses, got hurt tonight? All disappointed.
Sophia Tancredi and friends feel lucky they can walk away from the melee where there was a lack of model behavior. They also want a do-over. The cleanup is underway and only a handful of the young women remain. Their hopes trampled, their questions unanswered.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, you would think that an enormous group of attention-starved, attractive women would act a bit more rationally.
No,
right?
no, of course you wouldn't. They're idiots. But I can't... Really? I'm sorry I hurt your runway sensibilities, Scott.
You totally just lost every hot viewer that we ever had.
all two women that are tuning in. I can't believe that the news crew went on the air without using some actual on-the-front lines footage.
Yeah, that's true.
That place was insane, and they completely skirted the fact that exists.
You were there?
Yeah. Oh, thousands of beautiful women, for the most part, are about to get their dreams crushed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be there. Because those ladies are going to need some comforting.
It's like a marketing smorgasbord.
No, I show up ready to hug and hand out some Facebook URLs, and no, this happens.
Hey guys, Kevin Pereira here. It's March 14th, 2009. I'm in New York City, and this might be the last thing I ever record, so I hope it gets its way to you. The women are everywhere, and they're running, and they're screaming, and they're pulling each other's hair out, and it's crazy, and it's kind of hot, I'm not going to lie, but it's absolute chaos on the ground. There's wannabe models everywhere. They're running, reportedly, because someone saw a tank driving over the crowd, which makes no sense. Some chick said that she saw an anthrax-breathing dragon. I don't think she knows what anthrax is, let alone what a dragon may be. And then one model screamed, "There's Tyra," and that was when all hell broke loose. And I haven't heard confirmation, but I'm just going to assume it's true. And I'm down here on the ground now, not because it's safe or not because I'm not knocked down, but trying to grab as many upskirts as I can before this thing ends. Oh, got it. Oh my God!
Oh my God!
What?
My beautiful face!
No, it's fine.
Oh, no, help me!
No, hold on. No. Let me see. It's cuter. It's kind of hot when you're crying. No. Let me see the blood. Look towards me. Hold on. No. Smile. No, you're fine.
Did you get a tampon thrown at your head?
Yeah, it happens.
Classic.
Model stampedes. But I'll be launching a .com of those upskirts very soon, so keep an eye out for that. Get your daily viral fix and check. We could. Yep.
I'm wearing pants.
Check. I'm just saying, like, different strokes. There's different sections on the site. That's what I'm telling you.
What are you going to shoot up my pant leg?
There's something there.
I can see your calf. It's so hot.
Tinkle snap. To get your daily viral fix and to check out all the viral videos we have to offer, go to g4tv.com/aroundthenet. What?
I do not have kinkles. All right, it's time now to coordinate some new kings of dot comedy. Today's monarchs hail from a land known as Wisconsin. That's what it said.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure it did. The duo known as Blame Society is responsible for one of the internet's longest running and funniest series ever. It's Chad Vader.
May I speak with you a moment, my master?
It's just Randy.
Don't look at us. Blame Society. Blame Society Films, that is, because our newest kings of dot comedy have more than a kingdom, they have an empire.
Now you can feel the full power of the...
After they met at a 2001 comedy sports festival in Madison, Wisconsin, Matt Sloan and Aaron Yonda joined forces to become Blame Society. In 2004, the two became involved with a monthly short film competition called Channel 101. Their first entry was When the Lord Attacks, a parody of home video disaster shows.
It's a perfectly sunny, pleasant day until they are struck down by a bolt of lightning.
Sloan and Yonda followed it up with more original ideas like Super Shooter.
Super Shooter!
But becoming a web sensation was going to require more from the two filmmakers. Blame Society was going to have to go to the dark side.
You have failed me for the last time.
That's what you said the last time.
In 2005, Aaron and Matt landed an agent who insisted they create a series. They came up with a sketch starring Darth Vader as a grocery store manager. It was only good for a few laughs until Darth became Chad, the Sith Lord's less charismatic brother. The first episode was shot in 2006, and Chad Vader, day shift manager, became an instant viral hit.
Okay, ready to go.
They premiered an episode on Good Morning America. Chad Vader won the Star Wars Fan Film Award from George Lucas himself, and their video's popularity helped throttle YouTube's mainstream appeal. Motivated by their success, Blame Society spent 2007 completing an entire season of Chad Vader. They also expanded to include a courtroom drama.
Hey, are you a torpedo? No, Your Honor. Because you're missing the boat.
And in 2008, a cooking show, Thor's Kitchen.
By the power of Asgard!
Nothing like a good lightning bolt to crisp up a dish.
Blame Society is currently one of YouTube's most subscribed channels of all time. They've also transitioned Chad Vader's 20 million plus views into its own brand featuring exclusive merchandise. Blame Society has no plans to hang up their lightsabers, and their highly anticipated second season of Chad Vader is already underway in 2009.
You little rascals, take this. I win.
Proving that maybe the dark side isn't so bad, Blame Society definitely should be considered kings of dot comedy.
Make a solemn promise to keep featuring new kings of dot comedy until mankind realizes that we don't need a comedical monarchy. Let's go over to our own court jester, Kevin Pereira.
Last Friday, the long-awaited Resident Evil 5 finally hit store shelves, but did it live up to the hype? No, actually. For many. But joining us now is X-Play's Adam Sessler to give us the actual scoop. How are you, sir? How's your inbox been since giving the game? You gave it a 3 out of 5 on X-Play, right?
Yes. You know what?
I imagine you got a lot of all capitals. Thank you so much, Adam, for showing us the light and saving us $60.
I think we got more hate mail for giving a 5 out of 5 to Killzone 2 than we did to giving a 3 out of 5 to Resident Evil 5.
Isn't that weird?
I mean, there are a lot of people who like the game and disagree with us. There's many other people who saw what I saw in the game.
Well,
and
let's get into it, because I've been playing it, and I was twittering about it and getting backlash like crazy the moment I said meh. But let's talk about why we would take it down from the perfect 5 that it's supposed to be.
Let's say that the control system
sucks. It's okay to say it. Just say it.
I'm not a big fan of it. And I think the bigger case is it's not justified by the game. You know, we're in this era after Gears of War 2 where we have these controls that are very commonplace, and there's nothing in the game that kind of supports that. The game really is an action game, so why don't I have action controls?
Is your biggest problem with the controls that is mine and most other people, it seems to be, you can't shoot while moving? Is that what this is? Because
it's still a comedy. It's not shooting while moving, but it's moving slowly, not being able to turn and shoot fast enough. It's not so much that it's an impediment to ever getting anything accomplished in the game, but it doesn't make the game satisfying. But then when you compare that to the AI, which is supposed to alleviate the restrictions of the controls, that AI does not support you in any way and really drags the game down.
Right, and many will say, well, this is a co-op game, but you have to bank on that to sell the experience? That doesn't sound right. Like, the AI from your computer-controlled buddy is not very good. Shiva does not react well in any situation.
Left 4 Dead is a co-op game, and it's very easy to play it in single player.
Right.
So, I mean, right there. I mean, I think it's unfair to think that everyone who buys this game is expecting to be playing it for the 12 to 18 hours in co-op. I mean, it's been a single-player series. Expectations of being able to play it by yourself, I think, are legitimate expectations.
And again, I just want to remind our viewers at home, you have to stop if you want to shoot. Thank you.
Now, maybe at GDC there's going to be a new middleware that actually will solve that problem.
Right, some patch that lets you
I'm
sure they'll announce it. All right, what are the pros, though? Because there is some stuff to love here. I, for one, think it's super satisfying when you actually do get a shot off. I love the way enemies react. It's the physics involved. It's super satisfying for that portion.
The hints of Resident Evil 4 that are still there in Resident Evil 5 are still very satisfying. The earlier environments are very strong. They do feel a little bit fresh, even though I don't think they're as expansive as they were in Resident Evil 4, though I don't want to hit on a negative again, but while it's exciting and interesting in the beginning for those that are halfway through the game, it gets very rudimentary in its level design at the end. It really feels kind of phoned in, and they just kind of gave up the ghost on it.
Yeah, we're now back to the cons. Let's stay on the cons here, because talk about being linear here. I mean, this thing is straight. I mean,
it's funny. A lot of people said, "Oh my God, it's so linear." I'm like, well, the backtracking I had to do in earlier Resident Evils, I was like, "Oh, really? I have to go? Where was that red ruby place I was supposed to put that in?"
But you talked about these gorgeous environments when you first start off the game, and I love the environment that you're placed in. But it feels like that all-you-can-eat buffet. There's just rows and rows of food in front of you, and then they say you can only have the mashed potatoes or the bread. That's all we're going to give you. Like, you're stuck on this one very linear path.
No, that's an excellent analogy. But I think that's where the controls come in. That, like, I would love to have the freedom to do something that's exciting. And here it's like, well, let's see, how can I work around these controls? How can I work around this AI?
All right, so does co-op make the game for you, though?
The co-op is great. Now, more importantly, split-screen co-op works.
Right.
Because they don't apportion the screens as 50-50, where you're always trying to feel like you want to see something over here. But it's diagonal. It's you can see it in the correct ratio, and sometimes it's even more fun to play with someone on the couch because this really is a very cooperative experience, and it's easier than over a headset.
All right, but you said 3 out of 5, and the responses you're getting right now are...
It's been mixed. A lot of people are coming after me. I don't know who I'm in the pocket of today, since this isn't a console maker.
Right.
I think maybe they're blaming that maybe I love Square too much or something like that.
Yeah, well, it is Monday, so yes,
yeah,
it's Square today.
On the whole, I could have thought it would be worse than it was.
Okay.
I'll say that.
That's a glowing review. Before we wrap up here, you're going to be at the old GDC, right? Game Developers Conference?
Yes, I am going to be at GDC. We've got 3 days of coverage straight from the magic place where, everyone gets together and they confer about making the games.
Oh, okay. So what else are we going to see from there? Are we expecting any big announcements from any companies?
Yes, we're going to see, Iwata and Kojima are giving keynotes. We're going to have all the news that comes out of that and anything else at the conference. And we're going to have a lot of interviews with all the big names that always can be found at the Game Developers Conference.
And hopefully that patch for RE5 that lets you move and shoot at the same time, Japan.
It's called Dead Space.
I mean, come on. Even call up 50 Cent. He figured it out.
Yeah.
How Tony Yayo could move and shoot.
What's funny is that in his previous game, he could move but couldn't shoot.
Yeah.
It's amazing that he learned the shooting in the second one.
Adam, thank you so much.
Hey, my pleasure.
Seriously. Between stopping to shoot and pixelating the tentacles, Japan, learn how to have fun. Let's go to Miss Allison Hayslip, who's player 2 today. Go ahead.
I can move and shoot at the same time. All right, still ahead, we've got iPhone cut and paste rumors and some ominous news about the new iPod Shuffle in the feed. And then I'm going to sit down with Paul Rudd, Jason Segel, and the director of I Love You Man to discuss mandating when working with the original Hulk, Lou Ferrigno. And later, more found footage. An alien teaches kids not to talk to strangers, and Alan Thicke from Growing Pains is the creepiest dentist ever.
We're live!
Yes! Here's Katie Couric's favorite part of the show.
Oh, it's the feed.
Intended here in Hollywood.
The Feed with Layla Kaylee.
Hey guys, here are your top stories from Monday, March 16th. A couple of intriguing Apple rumors regarding the iPhone and iPod Shuffle are rocketing around the internet. Dig founder Kevin Rose claims that when Apple reveals the updated iPhone OS 3.0 tomorrow, it will include a copy and paste function that uses a magnifying glass icon containing 2 draggable quotation marks. But while this is welcome news for iPhone users, other information about the new 4GB iPod Shuffle is not so warm. The new Shuffle has controls built into the earbuds. Unfortunately, the new iPod is currently only compatible with the earbuds that come with the Shuffle. The website iLounge is reporting that third-party headphones result in a non-stop shuffling of songs with no ability to control the iPod. Additionally, any new third-party headphones may need to include an Apple authentication chip, which could run up the price for the end consumer. We'll keep you posted. Now, it looks like MacGyver will soon be building bombs out of yo-yos and toothpicks on the big screen. The 1980s TV series starring Richard Dean Anderson as a resourceful secret agent is being developed as a feature film by New Line. On the TV show, which ran from 1985 to 1992, MacGyver was famous for using science to escape deadly scenarios. So maybe he can figure out a way to fix the earbuds for the iPod Shuffle. Now, the recession is forcing the government to go the eBay route. Several deficit-riddled U.S. municipalities are now selling off old police cars, slot machines, helicopters, and bicycles in an attempt to make some revenue. But instead of going the old-school auction route, the states are peddling their wares online. For example, Tampa, Florida recently hosted the auction of a 1978 Piper police airplane on govdeals.com. They ultimately made more than $300,000 from the online auction, proving that states are willing to sell just about anything to reduce their budget deficit. And finally, Google Earth is now being creatively used by criminals. A London man has been arrested for using Google Earth's aerial photographs to target churches and schools in South London with lead roof tiles. The man, 27-year-old Tom Burge, could tell which roofs were made of lead because they appeared slightly darker than the regular roofing tiles in Google Earth's aerial photos. The man then drove to the building, stole the roofing tiles, and sold them to scrap metal dealers for a profit. He has since pled guilty to the crimes. Well, that's it for today, but don't worry, the feed doesn't stop here. Get all the news you need to know anytime at G4TV.com. And And now, on a personal note, today is my final day at G4. I'm choosing to move on to some new adventures. I want to thank Neil and John for giving me the honor of bringing you the only news you need to know for the last 3 years. The amazing team I've worked with here, Chris, Kristen, all the writers, Scott, and my lovely studio crew. Give yourselves a round of applause, please. Thank you. And last, but certainly not least, I also want to thank you, the AOTS audience, for all your support. I truly love you guys, and I'm forever grateful. Thank you so much. Now, for my final time, I hope it tastes good. I'm Layla Kaylee, and you've just been fed.
Yes, thank you very much, Layla. It's been a pleasure letting you fill our bellies and our minds with all that feed goodness. We appreciate it and wish you the best of luck on everything. Right now, here's Allison.
While Boxy may be the name of a not very bright girl on the internet, it's also the name of the best way to enjoy free content on your Apple TV, and we'll show you how to do it in Hack This.
There's only one thing better than getting free media, and that's hacking an Apple product. Stop paying for content on your Apple TV like a sucker and start streaming one of the largest collections of media for free. It's time to put Boxy on your Apple TV. Step 1. We need to turn a USB flash drive into a Boxy installer for Apple TV. Grab a drive that's 1 gig or larger and find the Flash Drive Creator app for Apple TV and download it. Step 2. Get the latest Apple TV firmware and configure the creator. Once you've found the DMG firmware file, go ahead and run the app. Now select ATV Patch Stick for installation and Boxy for Mac. Now click Choose a DMG and load your new firmware. Finally, click Create. Your patch stick is now ready to install Boxy. Step 3. Plug in the drive to Apple TV's USB port and turn on Apple TV. It will automatically run the bootloader from the drive. Now restart your Apple TV and find Boxy on the main menu. That's it, you did it. Prepare to be blown away by tons of channels from Juiced, YouTube, and even major networks like CBS. If you got 15 minutes and know how to use a computer, you too can watch Boxy in high definition on your Apple TV. Now, aren't you glad you decided to hack this?
And here it is. Unfortunately, Boxy won't play DRM content, meaning your iTunes media can't be accessed through Boxy.
Yes.
So what else can you do besides just stream from different channels?
Lots of stuff, actually. You can actually rate and recommend shows, music, even Flickr photos to other friends who have a Boxy as well. And then you can play those friends' choices, back on your Apple TV. Public torrents of media, which a lot of it is just old stuff, but they're still available, and it's cool that you can download them free of charge right there. And you can add different applications for other media sources as well, and connect to other people's computers to stream their media. So this is a really, really powerful free upgrade for the Apple TV.
Right, now you're going to fill up your Apple TV's 40 gig hard drive pretty quick if you're downloading a lot from Boxy.
Yeah.
So how easy is it to add more storage?
You'll probably end up voiding the warranty if you try to add some storage. We're going to put a few links on the Hack This page over on our show website where you can crack open the Apple TV and drop in a bigger internal drive. But it's pretty involved, and I don't have a hammer or the time to do it right now. So
you're useless.
Just know that it can be done. Well, I'll post the links. That's something.
Okay,
and you can also rip DVDs to Apple TV if you use Handbrake on your computer and then actually put the file, the DVD, into iTunes. Then sync up your iTunes with your Apple TV, and you'll have the movie. The point of all this really is that the Apple TV is much more customizable than big old Apple wants you to believe. And as far as we can tell, the hack doesn't void the warranty, but just be careful when you're doing this kind of stuff because you may blow up the house.
True.
Yeah, it could happen.
That would be interesting. Now, while Boxy can bring you streaming channels, it still can't bring you first-run movies, right?
Yeah, not yet. That's why the stars of I Love You, Man would like to ask you on a date to the movies this weekend. And it's not to see Watchmen, actually. No, it's their movie. I want you to see theirs.
I sat down with Paul Rudd and Jason Segel to talk about the man-dating comedy. Paul Rudd is engaged to the woman of his dreams. The only problem is he has no best man for the wedding. In order to rectify that, he sets out on a course of bromancing to find the perfect man.
Well, who's your best friend?
Your brother, Robbie. What's up? He's about the coolest guy I know.
So what spawned this story?
Well, this was based on a script written a bunch of years ago. It was basically like, the older I got, I was like, it's hard to make friends as an adult. You know, how do you do that? If you meet some guy that you just want to get a beer with, do you wait 2 days? Do you text him? I don't know how you do that, so I wrote a movie about it.
I really enjoyed this.
Awesome.
Did you guys have any of your own mandates prior to filming this?
We hung out. We smoked a few biscuits.
We snaked some brams.
We still smoke some brams.
We smoked some bourbon.
We snaked some brams.
We had some too.
Yeah, you feel better?
Yeah.
Want to eat a corn dog?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Did you discover that an actual bromance sort of blossomed between Jason and Paul?
Yeah,
on
it's
set?
ridiculous. They're obsessed with each other. It's uncomfortable.
I'm thinking it might be a little bit small.
Totally, and it smells like fart.
Do you have a favorite scene from this film?
Slap at the bass is a fun scene.
Slap at that bass, mother.
Please don't do that.
How much did those guys stick to the script?
Not at all. And I'm incredibly upset with them. Yeah, they're pretty funny guys. So they, you know, I'll take what I can get. And you know, there's a lot of stuff that they brought to it.
To be honest, I'm here to eat your free food and try to pick up a B-boy set.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. This script is really tightly honed.
Yeah, I loved it. When I read it, I just thought it was hilarious and pretty sophisticated. You know, we definitely stuck to what was written. There were times in moments of, I think, real,
You all right?
Oh, God. What happened?
Is that a moment?
No, that was
Breakfast?
bad clams.
What was it like working with the Hulk?
Big fans of Lou Ferrigno.
Get your hands out of my face and stop calling me Hulk.
Okay, yeah. I was really kind of excited to meet him.
There's a few dreams come true. We got to meet Lou Ferrigno. I got to work with Paul Rudd.
I got to work with Jason Segel.
Wow.
Dream come true.
You got lucky.
Besties.
How about cleaning up after your dog? You mind your own.
With a kick-ass cast and non-stop laughs, get in touch with your inner dude and seek out I Love You Man.
Bad clams.
Clams.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
You know, some of my best dates have actually been mandates.
Me
so,
too.
Yeah.
We should have a double mandate.
It's not what it's called, actually,
No?
but I don't want to try
I
it.
kind of like it.
We're fine.
A double mandate.
Question, Hayslip.
Yes, Pereira.
What do alien exchange students have in common with Alan Thicke, the guy from Growing Pains? No. I don't know why this is the universal symbol for growing pains, but it is now.
They both haven't been seen since the early 90s.
Well, yes, that's good. Why not? But they're also the hidden gems that we discovered in today's found footage. All right, first up we have, where is it? Here it is, right here. This is, no, this isn't it.
This
What
is it. It's
Yeah,
this one.
This one's great. We have Get Street Smart, a kid's guide to stranger dangers. This was an instructional series that featured an alien named Corny. Who taught kids the importance of, you know, not being stupid.
Is he named Corny because he looks like he has corn on his face?
I don't
get
know.
it.
That's-
All right, watch as Corny learns why he shouldn't talk to strangers.
It's a picture of my puppy. He's lost. Can you help me find him? Oh, I'll help you.
They kick into the fanciful Disney music when the kid's about to be molested in the back of a truck.
You can't scare children too much, but
there's the Air Bud soundtrack.
But conveniently, Corny has a special device that allows him to travel through time and start the day over, as
right.
if nothing actually happened.
Yeah, okay. Well, at least he won't remember the day, but makes sense. Even a time-traveling watch, though, cannot erase a very disturbing game of Frisbee that takes place in the park.
Pretty
good, Corny.
Nice. Clowns or ice cream boys offering gifts of candy and toys. Might be wearing stolen badges, lurking around in fields and hedges. Stop, think, listen to your heart. Don't be scared. Hey, kids.
Oh!
You should never trust a guy wearing shorts like that.
No!
No. Now, does the rest of the series involve more awkward situations?
Yeah, actually, you bet it does. The second tape in the series, titled Feeling Scared, Acting Brave, focuses on the importance of courage, such as when you're a creepy dentist, which is played by Alan Thicke from Growing Pains. He starts dropping innuendos.
Whoa, whoa. I bet it looks pretty scary with this mask, huh? Well, I wear it sometimes to protect my patients from germs. How you doing, Corny? Yeah, not so good, I guess. You have a toothache, and that's no fun, is it? Well, open wide and we'll take a look.
Are you going to put all those things in my mouth?
I could if you want.
Please. Come on, Alan. Show us that smile. Again.
Aw. Well, that's it for today's found footage. I think I need a shower after that.
Or a cigarette, depending upon who you are, yes. Now, you may need the web to throttle yourself at home, but your ISP is throttling your connection before it even gets to your laptop.
The Loop will discuss the problem up next.
It's a throttle.
At home. Why are you breaking my found footage?
I was throttling.
What?
A little throttle.
The Feed is brought to you by Papa John's Ultimate Pepperoni Pizza for $11.99.
ISPs are combating the ever-growing needs of the internet with metered web and bandwidth throttling and other actions that go against the notion of net neutrality. So, is it wrong for these companies to regulate what we access, or is this a necessary evil to maintain some decent speeds for everyone?
With internet users demanding more and more from the web, internet service providers are finding themselves struggling with the principles of net neutrality and a free and open internet for all. ISPs are having to increasingly engage in traffic throttling, which can slow down internet speeds for everyone from peer-to-peer downloaders to gamers to people streaming Netflix movies. ISPs claim selective throttling is necessary to provide everyone decent bandwidth and prevent congestion. But some claim these companies may be throttling certain services to make sites they have a stake in faster and therefore more attractive. Is bandwidth throttling here to stay? And if ISPs stop throttling, would the alternative be widespread internet censorship? Saving the internet, it's The Loop.
All right, joining me from New York to help us make sense of it all, senior writer for Wired Magazine, Daniel Roth is here. How are you, Daniel?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, thanks. Before we begin, for the sake of full disclosure, I do want to say that G4's parent company is Comcast, who has been linked to bandwidth throttling in the past. But as of right now, what's the state of internet bandwidth throttling? I mean, how widespread has this become? Is everybody affected by this, or is it still just small pockets across the country?
Well, in the U.S., it's pretty small pockets. You're seeing it pop up in a lot of different places. A lot of smaller ISPs who are dealing with a lot of problems with people doing P2P downloading, P2P uploading, a lot of web video, increasing the amount of traffic on some of their pipes. In other countries, it's much worse than it is in the U.S., but you're definitely seeing it here. There's no question that some of the ISPs are trying to figure out how to serve up all this data to the people who want it, but without having to lay more expensive pipes into the ground.
Right. Daniel, are they targeting the markets that need it the most, or are they just testing it out in smaller markets before they roll it out nationwide? What do you think the future of this is going to be?
You know, it's actually hard to tell because no one really announces when they're doing throttling. The only way you can find out is when someone posts something, you get a tweet that says, hey, my Comcast is slowed down. Is anyone else's problem? Or I'm seeing with Time Warner, suddenly I'm not getting this, I'm not able to download this program. What's going on? People are saying, this is happening to me, this is happening to me also, and suddenly people in a certain neighborhood, a certain area are realizing that something odd is going on. And you might find throttling that way. But it's not an easy thing to tell, and it's not like the ISP say, we're throttling now.
Well, and why are they throttling? I mean, let's get their excuse or their explanation, if you will, for why they're throttling versus what you think they might be doing this for.
The reason why they say they're doing it is because they have a lot of people who are consuming a lot more media than they had expected. And one of the big problems with the way that the internet services are provided, the way that internet comes to your home is that it comes down in a giant fat pipe, but it goes back up to the internet service providers in a real small little pipe.
Right.
And when you have something like with P2P, where you're downloading huge files and uploading them at the same time, it screws up the entire way the network is configured. And they say they have to put this throttling in place so that they don't have, so that everyone can have access to the internet, basically.
Right. Now,
that's their excuse.
So I hear this, and I understand it makes it sound like we are just this, here in the U.S. we are this superpower of broadband just dominating the world because we've just got so much access and these big pipes, but these tiny upstreams. And then every report I see that talks about the rest of the world, the U.S. is right down below. Like we're ranked 15th or 27th. It all depends on which study you look at. What are other countries doing, and how do we rate in terms of broadband performance to the rest of the world?
We rate pretty poorly compared to the rest of the world. Now, the rest of the world, there are certain advantages they have. For instance, a lot of times they are broadband infrastructure is seen as a government policy. It's important for the government to say this country needs to have very fast broadband speeds.
Right.
In the U.S., that largely has not been important. So you've had companies who have been providing this, and Comcast, Time Warner, Verizon, and for them, this is a business. So they want to be able to offer as fast a speeds as they need to with spending as little money
as necessary. Of course.
Exactly.
And I know some people point to the solution of, well, what about caps? Why don't we just limit the amount of bandwidth you can transfer in a month, and then we don't have to throttle it. Use as much as you want, as fast as you want, and then we charge you for overages. Doesn't that seem dangerous? Are other countries doing that, and what sort of results are they having?
A lot of other countries have caps in place, and the U.S. has not had caps until recently. You're starting to see caps show up in the U.S. right now, which goes against the trend in the rest of the world, unfortunately. But caps are probably the way that the internet is moving. The days of the all-you-can-eat internet, I think, are going to be done in a few years. You're going to see caps showing up. Well, some places have very small caps that you're going to blow through in a YouTube user, an average YouTube user is going to blow through in 15 days. But other ISPs have huge caps that really no one's going to get through until you start downloading HD movies all the time to your computer.
Or until you start paying $1,000 a month for your internet connection, which we're going to move to as well. Daniel, thank you so much. Unfortunately, we've run out of bandwidth on our satellite now, and they're going to start charging us. But we appreciate you keeping us in the loop. Thank you so much.
So thanks for having me here.
Right now, let's go over to Allison, who's always throttling me, sadly.
Okay, still ahead. Even more Attack of the Show.
Kevin says, eat me.
Tune in to Attack of the Show Thursday for a look at the DVD version of the comic within the comic, Watchmen, Tales of the Black Freighter, and Under the Hood.
Fun fact, and don't get this one wrong like I did. Under the Hood is not a fetish documentary.
Interesting.
It's just, so don't put it on expecting that.
Interesting.
And both of these Watchmen DVDs will be available on Blu-ray and, of course, on regular DVD March 24th. So keep an eye for those.
Watching,
Thank you, Allison, for hanging out and doing that whole thing. Thank you guys for bearing with me. X-Play is up next. And we'll see you later. Good night. Oh, it's so hot when they bleed.
Bye, Layla.
Bye.